Greenie. Rise and shine.
Will, was the attraction of the role of Gally that it allowed you to play the bully and the victim at the same time?
Yeah, it's interesting. I hadn't really kind of like labelled him in that way, but that's a very interesting way of putting it. In many ways, he is kind of like a bullyish character. He's kind of heavy-handed and quite harsh with the way that he goes about things in the Glade. But yeah, I think he does quickly become the victim. He certainly isn't hero to zero, but he's in quite a high position of authority, and he plummets massively to a kind of depth where he's not really considered valid in the Glade anymore. They've got a new leader in the shape of Dylan's character, Thomas, and Gally's kind of, old ways of thinking that they can survive in here forever and they're going to be rescued or whatever he thinks is not really, it's outdated now.
What's out there?
The maze.
Every morning when those doors open,
The runners look for a way out. No one has ever survived a night in the maze.
When I was watching it, I thought he's kind of a performer in his own right, isn't he?
He does kind of put on this like tough guy act, I think, slightly. I think if Gally's being honest with himself, and he never would admit this, because he's got major pride issues and he's a bit of a douchebag, but he really is someone who is quite scared about what's on the outside world, doesn't have a lot of faith in what's out there for them once and if they do escape.
In terms of the character, what was the hardest thing to get right?
Interesting. It's hard being the like nasty guy when everyone around you's so nice. Like everybody around you's so nice, and there's this like organic sense of camaraderie, in the cast, and I certainly was made part of that, and that was lovely, and I had an absolute blast with these guys off set. But on set, it's weird. Like you do feel those natural distances, it's tough. It's tough being that person sometimes. You want to kind of like muck in with the gang 24/7, but we had an absolute blast together, and offset we had a ball. So
that really comes across in any of the footage, the backstage footage. There's some videos on YouTube with your co-stars and that.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I mean it's one of those things that the fans of the book and now the film have really kind of picked up on the fact that we're all so close, and we did spend so long with each other. My favourite thing they do is they get pictures like Power Rangers, and then they put our faces on them. Or recently we had Powerpuff Girls. It was like me, Thomas and Dylan, or something like that. And but they've been a massive support all the way through. They really have kind of made this experience very, 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 very special for us. So it's been great.
we get out now or we die trying.
It strikes me in terms of age groups that people are going to take different messages from this film. What's the one that you've taken from it?
The strength of people in a team, like I think it was a real true team effort in order to make this movie, and this really depicts, the strength of people once they kind of all agree on the same goal and they all work hard together towards, achieving it.
That really comes true.
Sure.
Anyway.
Oh, cool, man. Glad to.
Pleasure.
Cheers.
Sure about this?
No.
We can't leave. They won't let us.